Know your elements, your lucky days, and the best spiritual work to do for instant result and manifestation. Believe me, if you know this secret about your element, you will not only become a spiritualist, you will become a savior to your generation. For some time now, it has become not only popular request, but I have been yearning to actually explore and teach you this particular issue about element, knowing fully well that human beings created under the earth actually come from four different elements, which are one, the element of air, the element of earth, the element of fire, and the element of water. And I understand that if we know how to harness these four elements very well, that almost everything that we do or want to achieve become possible, because even part and parcel of our destiny is encoded in this element. But like I told you, that I don't like hit and run concept, explaining things in hit and run way. You have to really relax if you actually want to get the whole gist. So those people that are hunching me, your video is too a kind of long, please, you have to be patient, because I requested in one video, give me enough thumbs up if you want me to talk about element, and most of you, especially the video about bread, gave that thumbs up, and that is what gave me the effrontery to be doing this video. So please stay tuned while I share it with you. Welcome once again to Jenny Action TV. In this particular channel, I'll discuss three important variables which are actually health, safety, and spirituality. Believe me, if you can understand and apply these three correctly in your life, the sky will not be your limit, it becomes your starting point. If this is the very first time you're landing in this channel, you're highly welcome. Please do it to hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification so that YouTube will always notify you once I upload a new video. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I appreciate you for everything you are doing. May God bless you, honor you, and surprise you. But for my new timers, any video you might be looking for, just type Jenny Action TV / let's say destiny number, then you will be able to get the video, watch, and get value. So without wasting our time, let's quickly delve into the video. You see, before I actually land in telling you how you can discover the particular elements you have and the best spiritual work to do in order to get quick results and your lucky days, it's better that I tell you first of all the characteristics of each of these elements. Though I will not be exhaustive, I will only pick some few outstanding characteristics of this element in order for you to start shaking your life by yourself, to be able to know if you can dictate by yourself what element you are actually. Then before I'll tell you in explicit term the easiest way to discover. One, air element. When we talk about air element, these people are highly creative, they are highly intelligent people. To avoid wasting our time, not discuss it in details. They are also versatile. They can be good in everything. If you call them in acting, they are there. If you call them in business, they will do well. If you call them in office work, they will do well. Anything that is doable, they are capable of doing it. And not only that, sometimes they tend to be level-headed. They are not troublesome. They maintain relationships. To an extent also, they are adventurous. They want to find out. They are very curious. Though they tend to be talkatives, they like to show off their achievement even without you asking them much. They always try to win arguments. And the one thing with these people, by the name Air, you will know that they are travelers. They like to travel. They like to meet new people that are friendly. And I wish to tell you something about all these elements. They are all unique in their a kind of makeups. There's no element that is better than the other. So any element you fall into, you should be grateful to God for that. And then the next is earth element. Earth element are people that have the ability to tender, in other ways, to nurture things. That's why they are earth. They can easily plant, watch that their plant grows and come out the best they want it. That's why they can do farm work very well. And apart from that, if they are pastor, they are the type that will nurture their congregation to growth without having that element of scattering. Even in office, anywhere they are found, they are always builders. They are always royal. They are also level-headed. They are good planners. They are good builders. They can be ambitious, but they don't allow their ambition to get into their head to the extent of trying to a kind of take over power by force. They are a kind of small but mighty people. They may look quiet, but they are a kind of achievers. Then we have fire element. Fire element are people with full of strength. They have either enthusiastic, they are passion. Though most of the time they tend to be careless, they tend to be carefree. Something that is maybe a serious issue, they take it as if it is nothing. And when you try to make something out of it, they tend to fight you because that fire shows in whatever they do. They're highly competitive in nature. You can't easily win them in argument. And whenever there is a kind of something that looks like competition that is set between you and them, they do everything possible to become the winners. They are highly impulsive. There are people that you call domineering people that are committed to ventures. Anything they want to do, they will do it to their greatest ability. These people can be pleasant anyway. That their fire doesn't mean that when you come close to them, they will consume you. No. It's not like that. So the next one is water element. Mostly, people with water elements tend to be balanced in nature. In other words, they take things calmly. They are a kind of harmonious people. They are highly emotional. They are too caring. They are somehow mysterious. You cannot easily understand them. They have changes in their emotion easily. The next minute, this person is so happy. The other minute, he's so angry. You cannot easily explain them. They are highly sensitive, but they are charitable. They are compassionate. When you understand all these attributes of a kind of people, you will understand why people behave the way they do, and then you don't need to have crisis with people if you understand element that even if you are a married man or woman and you are married to someone, you will see reason not to always ending in argument. Probably you know that this person is fire element. There is nothing I can do to keep this person in one place. Maybe you are a man and you see that every time that person want to be on the way, you want to travel, you want to kind of do one business or the other, you should understand and give that woman a space because that is his or her element. You cannot just do much about it. So these are the few characteristics of this element. If you still want in-depth knowledge, I am trying hard to make it short. Please give me enough thumbs up and comments down below. I'll give you more knowledge because this is actually going to come in series because there is a lot to talk about element, how it influences your career, the pet, animal, your lucky fruit, and many things are included in this element. Now, the great question is, what exactly is your own element? I wish to bring this clearly to your notice that every human being under this earth actually have the entire 4 elements. And how do I know this? You see, from this your head or neck region to up to your head is actually receiving air and the fire element. While from this your neck region down to your lower abdomen is actually water element. While from your lower abdomen to your legs to the soles of your feet is actually receiving earth element, and that makes every human being complete with the 4 elements. The only difference is that some people's body is actually receiving more of the fire element than the earth element, while some people are receiving more of the earth element than the water element, while some people are receiving more of the water element than the air element, and some people are even receiving almost equal of the double out of all the elements like air and the water or air and fire and so on and so forth. So everybody actually have the entire 4 elements. Then the question is, how do you actually discover the particular element that your body is receiving more than the other that can now classify you as being a particular element? Like I normally told you that there are around 9 entrances or 9 points where all the energy from the universe, from the cosmos enters and passes through your body. And in other words, there are 9 chakras in your entire system. One is the middle of the head here, which is where even if a spirit wants to possess somebody, that is actually where the spirit enters. And if somebody wants to leave the astral body in order to venture into something like even in the dream, that is where the person goes out from. That is number 1 point. The second point is actually this, your 2 ears. Third point is your 2 eyes. Fourth point is your nose. fifth point is actually your mouth, sixth point is actually your genitals, and then seventh point is actually the pores of your skin, eighth point is actually the soles of your feet, and the final point is actually the palms of your hand. And the one funny thing is that all these energies that is coming inside your system is actually summarized in your palm. So that is why the easiest and the best way and the simplest way to actually discover your element is actually looking through the palm and your hand incomplete. And you should also understand this one fact, that there are two types of hand or palm that we have. We have what is called dominant hand and non-dominant hand. When we talk of dominant hand, it's actually that hand that you use every time. Let's say you are right-handed person, your dominant hand is your right hand. Then if you're left-handed person, your dominant hand is your left hand. So then your non-dominant hand actually contains the main kind of resources that God brought into this world. If we go to palm reading, why the dominant hand is how you are exploiting that palm. That is another video for another day. But what I'm trying to tell you now, that from your hand you can discover your element. And there are people that the element in the left hand is different from the element in the right hand. That is, the element in the dominant hand different from the element in the non-dominant hand. Then the question is, how then do you discover your particular element? Okay, basically, three combination of factors can actually be used to distinguish between all the elements, and this combination of factors is one. The first one is actually like the proportion of your palm in respect of your fingers, in terms of also the properties and the texture of this particular hands. Another one is in terms of short and long fingers. Then another one is in terms of square palms and the rectangular palm. Now, for you to discover if somebody is earth element, fire element, water element, or earth element, you should know that both fire and the pay attention so that you will not finish me with question in the comment section, that both fire and the water element will always have this place rectangular in nature. That is one. That is in terms of the shape. While both earth and the air element have here a square in nature. This place is always square in nature. And then while water hands are long fingers, those that are water element, even though the here is rectangular, they tend to be having long fingers, that if you shake their fingers seems to be longer than this side. Then, but those ones that are fire element, they tend to have short fingers, so much so that if you begin to measure here and here, you will now discover that their fingers here is shorter than this their palm. Then those that are air element, they tend to also have long fingers, that if you shake between here and here, you will see that their finger here is longer than this side. That's from between here till then, their finger become longer than this. Why those ones that are earth element tends to have shorter finger, even though the here is square in nature, it's shorter than the fingers are shorter than this their palm. So that is how to discover them. Then if you are having two elements, it means that this your two hands is going to be completely different. Either you are having square in this place and then having long fingers, and you come here and have rectangle and maybe having short finger or long finger. When you see such a thing, you will not be able to know if you have two elements that is outstanding, maybe earth and the water at a time. So I believe that with this, you can easily distinguish which elements you have. But there is one most important element that nobody is talking about. It's a secret element I will expose to you today. That element is human mind. What does this imply? What it implies is that human mind is just like the summary of every energy that is actually coming into your life. It is all the energy coming into your life is not only summarizing palm, it's also summarizing your mind. In other words, whatever your mind can conceive, you can actually achieve. And on this note, I wish to tell you that coming to the spiritual work to do in order to be highly successful, you can do every spiritual work and succeed. Because are you aware that the Bible actually said in book of Proverbs 23 verse 7 that as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So if you think that you are earth element, you become an earth element. If you actually think that you are air element, you simply become air element. If you actually think that you are water element, you become water element. If you actually think that you are fire element, you become fire element. And by that, I wish to tell you that there is no spiritual work that you do that will not work for you. It starts with your mind. Once your mind is settled that I can make it, you have positive mindset to make it. The second is that you should not break natural law, because when you break certain natural law, spiritual work will not work for you, and you will actually think that it is actually because you are not this particular element, that this thing belongs to the element of water, and me that is the element of fire went and do it. That is why it did not work for me. No, let's take for instance, I've said it time with their number. Don't receive and collect something through the window. When you are busy receiving and collecting, you're activating promise and faith. So no matter how you do work to stop promise and faith, it may not stop if you continue doing that. So that is breaking natural law. For example, you want to bet, you first of all go and put cold water and put hot water on top, and then it's going to quench certain of your blessing. You may actually be thinking that it's because you are a fire element and this spiritual work is belong to earth element. That is why it didn't work for you. Another thing is that, like I told you, don't go to have fun inside the bedroom, the same place you cleanse yourself. Now, the same place you cleanse yourself, you go there and mess it up, because sex is a highly spiritual thing, and that is why I made video on why you shouldn't even do spiritual work why you finish kind of meeting your partner, because even from biblical somehow it is against it, or why you are misreading. Now you are misreading it and you start doing spiritual work, it didn't work, say because of your earth element. It is not like that. Once you break some spiritual law, it will not work for you. Or you go to have fun, you start using mouth where it's not supposed to be using mouth. You see even people boldly teaching such things online. You should go and do oral this and oral that. That same mouth that you are using to pray to God and using to talk to the universe that this is what I want. Once you do it, there is fire in your mouth that makes everything you declare to come to pass. It will quench. So spiritual work will not actually work for you. These are issues. So not even about the element, because you carry all the element. As far as you have it in your mind that you can make it, you can make it. The only thing that is important is one, have possibility mindset, that everything is possible. I am possible. I can make it. Continue confessing of that your positivity. You will surely make it. Another one, become a protocol breaker. Don't believe that things must work like this. That believe that even if it did not work for everybody, it will work for me. You know, some time ago, somebody kind of asked me, how do I go and settle water people? I told them I don't negotiate with devil. You know, that will be a good negotiator. That what do you mean by say that? Somebody say you should go and settle water people. That is why you're having some challenges. My dear, let nobody talk you into such. If your water element refuses to allow you to get what you want, to use your air element, you have all the elements. If your air element messes up, you use your earth element. If your earth element is not working, you use your fire element, because you carry all the elements. We don't negotiate with devil. We bind the devil and keep it where he is. Believe me, devil is a trickish individual from the beginning, and that is what made us to lost our former paradise in the Garden of Eden. He was able to manipulate the psychic of Eve, and then Eve now ate the forbidden fruit, and up to today, devil is still doing that. Why is it that most of the times have you had, how many men are they saying go and settle water spirit and settle this? It's always women, because they can easily be manipulated. So don't allow yourself. Even when Jesus started his ministry, Jesus is the head of the principality. When he wanted to start his ministry, fasted 40 days and 40 nights, devils still come to negotiate. Start telling him that if you can bow down your head, look at all this heaven and earth, all this mansion in the earth, I'll hand it over to him, bow down and worship. He refused to bow down because he told him it is written. So that is why you should know the in-depth of the word of God. Don't negotiate with the devil. You carry all the elements. Everything is summarized in your palm and your heart. Whatever you believe can work for you, it will work. If you don't believe, do you know that another thing we have is the empty space of the universe? I have proved it time with your number that whatever you release as energy in terms of your word in the empty space of the universe comes to pass, and that is where cause comes easily to pass. That spirit, blessing the spirit. When somebody say God bless you, a lot of spirits have had it and they will carry it and bring it to pass, because just as we have wicked and good people on this earth trying to perpetrate evil, we also have wicked and evil spirits trying to perpetrate actions. So when you start doing positive action, positive spirit will back you. When you are doing negative action, negative spirit will also back you. So the empty space of the universe is one of the most powerful kind of element that you're going to be using to work for you. That is the fifth element that is outside our body. When you talk of these four major elements that is also operative in the earth, then the fifth one is the fifth element. Because anytime that sun is shining on you, you are receiving fire element. Any day that air is blowing on you, you are receiving fire element. Any day you come in contact with water, whether you go to the sea flowing river, or you go to bar beach, you under the rain, you are bathing, you are receiving water element. And then anytime you touch this, your leg touch the sand of the earth, and you are using the kind of plants that come from the earth, you are also receiving earth element. So now The empty space of the universe is a universal element that anybody can benefit from. That is why you are not limited by anything. So every spiritual work can actually work for you. And I need to bring this to your notice also, that do you know the most important thing is that you need to discover that there are certain things that are portals that can easily give you one open door when you want to use it. No wonder the Bible says that the children of Issachar have understanding of the time, that they know what Israel ought to do at the right time. When you master the act of divine timings and use it to your benefit, there is nothing that will not work for you. Remember that the Bible said in Proverbs 22 verse 29, see thou a man diligent in his business, he will stand before king and not before mean men. So even if you want, be earth element, be fire element, be water element, be air element, and you are not diligent, you may not achieve much. So you need diligence. And then understand divine timing in terms of portal. Like you see me talking about the portal of a new moon opening. Moon is just like one of the air elements, some things that are in the sky that you benefit in. Sometimes I talk about going to early morning sun to do so. It's another portal of fire element. And then sometimes we talk about a kind of getting rainwater, moon water. Those are like using water element. And then do you know that sometimes when you are faced with a lot of challenge, you don't know what to do, just by going near by the sea, sitting down, maybe throwing flower like you are playing, brings a lot of positivity back to your life, and so on and so forth. So, and then when also you come in contact with sand, maybe you are burying your spiritual work, you are praying with sand, and all those standing barefooted, you are kind of interacting with earth elements. So you have seen that one way or the other, you use this all of them. So when you understand these portals, another portals may be junctions. Likewise, how do I know this? Why is it that when Jesus wanted to ascend to the heaven, he has to go to a particular place he ascended? And also Elijah, when Elijah has to ascend to heaven while he was still alive, he has to tell Elisha that if he can follow him until he's able to see him when he's taken away. Why didn't he stay in that place they are and be taken away? He went to a particular portal. So when you understand that there are portals on this earth, sometimes it may be junction, sometimes it may be facing the sun, sometimes it may be facing the moon to make your prayers, you will enjoy everything, you get everything you want, and above all, altars. And the best altar remains the altar of the Most High God. That personal altar you have built that you're using to communicate God, or the altar of your church. Once you start utilizing some of these portals, nothing becomes impossible. So believe me, with the best the kind of spiritual work to work in order to achieve best in your life or manifest everything you want is any spiritual work can work for you, because you have all the elements. And then another question is, which day is your lucky day? Believe me, your lucky days, that is why I took time for the first time to explain about your destiny number. Your lucky day is tied to that your destiny number, and then that's the particular day you were born in this earth, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day you have, your spirit is tied to that day, is the lucky day for you. And again, your lucky day is tied to your spiritual birthday. That one is another lesson of its own. If I receive enough thumbs up, enough comments in this video, I will tell you actually about your spiritual birthday. Your spiritual birthday is more important than all this physical birthday we celebrate. If physical birthday is important, believe me, Jesus' birthday, physical birthday, would have been documented in the scripture, but it is missing. The birthday we actually celebrating on 25th is actually imputed by the church, and because the Bible has said that whatever the church have agreed stands, that is the only reason. That is not the real birthday. And the first birthday that was actually celebrated in this world cost the head of John the Baptist. That is to tell you that God is not interested in your physical birthday. He's actually interested in your spiritual birthday. So if I get enough thumbs up and comment, I'm actually going to share your spiritual birthday, because if you can understand your spiritual birthday, start celebrating it, believe me, you will physically begin to see your guardian angel manifesting to your life. Will transform to another shape. You will become a spiritualist and become a savior. You see that this life is enjoyable. So with this, I've actually come to the end of today's video, believing that some people has actually find value. If you are among, please give me that thumbs up, comment on this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not done so, hit the bell notification so as to get my next upload, share this video and share it to everyone. You might be helping a lot of people. I am not done with element. There are a lot of things you need to do. So when I get enough thumbs up, I'll do the rest. So God bless you. See you, Lady Jane saying bye bye.